Today is a story of East versus West. Two brothers in control of a massive portion of the known world. Honorius, the younger of the two, controls the Eastern Roman Empire from Rome, and Arcadius rules in the West from Constantinople. The two surviving sons of Theodosius the Great, the last imperator of a united Roman Empire, each have a claim to the other's realm, and the only question on my mind is, will they use it? Both brothers have been blessed with the status of 100 statman, as well as the local major empires of the Hun and the Sassanid Persians. Who will prevail? East, West, or perhaps a new challenger shall enter the fray? Question of the day. What is the best lifestyle focus in Crusader Kings 3 in your opinion? Let us know in the comments below. And here we are, Fallen Eagle, a beautiful, beautiful mod. Western Roman Empire led by Honorius in the West, and the Eastern Roman Empire led by Arcadius in the East. These two lads are brothers, as I would have explained in the intro, and they are absolute Chad 100 stat men with basically every point that you can imagine and as many good traits as I could possibly find in the cheat menu. And to make things a little more interesting, I gave Kagan Kursik over here of the Hunnic Empire the same stats, as well as Sha'ansho Bahram the fourth over here of the Sassanids. And another very important thing to keep in mind is the Romano-Iranian wars going on over here between Arcadius and Bahram, and that is definitely going to be affecting the politics of the region. So at a quick glance, you think that the Western Roman Empire is in a better spot, and you're probably right, but they're definitely pretty even in terms of military might, as well as basically everything else. The only major difference is that Arcadius here in the East is 7 years the senior of his brother Honorius. And it's safe to say right off the bat that Kursik's Hunnic invasions are probably going to be going just fine, considering the fact that he's got that martial skill. He's going to be exploding in growth, at least I assume he will. But Bahram over here is having a second struggle in the greater Khorasan region against a couple of local rulers. So maybe, just maybe, Arcadius will not necessarily have to fight him too much early on, but I'm really curious to see what the dynamic between these two brothers will be. Oh yeah, Kursik the Bloodfather is definitely making inroads. He's annexed the entirety of Carpathia, and he actually borders them over in Wallachia and modern-day Romania. So Dacia is under the rule of the Hun. And apparently over here, Honorius has released a few tags around the coasts over here. It looks like release by the Emperor to help save the Empire is the action that he took here. It's interesting. We'll see how that goes. Maybe being a little smaller makes it easier for him to manage his subjects. I'm not sure. And Honorius here is now age 16. He is officially a man, and he is a charismatic negotiator. So he'll probably be going the diplomatic lifestyle focus, and I'm not sure how exactly that will pan out. And I should have shown this, but Arcadius is a brilliant strategist, and he's going to be making his way through military. And poor Honorius here is looking like they're probably going to be losing. The Gothic invasions have begun, and Rome is probably going to fall. I'm not really sure what will happen from this. I don't imagine they're going to take all of this. Yeah, we'll see how things go with that. Ooh, and we also have a Hunnic invasion of the Diocese of Dacia. So it looks like the Romans might be losing a little bit more land over here in Dacia. That would be pretty crippling for them. That'd be nuts if they lost 2 of the major kingdoms just like back to back. Oh no. Honorius, what have you done? The Goths now control Italy, and yeah, the Western Roman Empire is all but dead at this point. He split out a bunch of nations, and then he just lost the majority of his development and land over here in Italy, as well as like southern Germany and that stuff. And over on the western portion, it is not looking well. It looks like the Huns are going to be winning this one as well. They're up to 70% or 65%, and they have double the army of young Arcadius here. So probably not going to go well for them. And rather than focus on the war, Arcadius here actually decided to imprison his spouse. Priorities, I guess. And along with losing wars, it looks like Arcadius, god among men Theodosian here, quite the deviant. He is actually excommunicated as well. So needless to say, he's not very pious, despite gaining 25 piety per month. Unlike his brother, the other Bloodfather next to the Hun leader, he is doing just fine as far as this stuff goes, and he's actually working his way through his focuses. But yeah, he's not doing well on the borders, though. He hasn't lost anything else that I can see. It's hard to say. I think the Roman Empire is going down. And the Huns actually even took more than it showed in the war. They took a large portion of Greece all the way down into Thessalonia, I think is this area is called. I'm disappointed in this one. Meanwhile, we have our third bloodfather here. Bahram here is not doing anything. As far as I can tell, he hasn't declared a single war, though I do think he maybe crossed the Sinus Persis and the Persian Gulf here and pushed over into Arabia a bit. But a ton of conversions have been going down on the religious front. Both the East and Western Roman Empire are Nicene Christianity, that is, and they're doing quite a good job of converting, though it looks like the Tengri hordes who have pushed over here are going to have something to say about that. Quite a few Hellenic and then other like regional stuff like this. Got some Druids hanging out, and then these guys up here are also Druids. Honorius has become a drunkard, understandable considering the situation that he's gotten himself in. He also has collapsed civic competence. So yeah, he's making very little money. He's still making pretty good money, but considering how big his empire is, he's not doing very well. And actually, it looks like Honorius is going to die in his 30s, absolutely just ridden with smallpox, gout, and he's a drunkard. He also had a botched disease treatment. So needless to say, my man is not destined for success here. And his son, Honorius II, not looking too good. He's an irritable, he's beautiful, and he's intelligent and robust, but he's also wounded. I don't think that will affect him too negatively, but we'll see if he can do okay considering the failures of his father. In Honorius's credit, he did reconquest a bit of the land up here in northern France, though they lost the entirety of Britain for the most part, as well as they took a little bit of land over here in Hispania. So he's trying. He's just not really succeeding. And with the death of the Gothic invader, we actually have a split in his empire. His son Marcian and Radgasius II inheriting the crown of whatever this Italian country is called. But then we also have this one up here in the north, and he is a child of a concubine, and maybe he's got something to prove. Maybe we can create a little bit of drama here in the Italian peninsula. And Bahram over here died at the ripe old age of 85, doing pretty good. He just died of old age, so solid life. He did pretty good. I'm pretty sure he actually maybe even known as the Great in real life. I didn't look him up. I probably should have looked him up. Bahram the Fourth. Yeah, no epithets that I can find, but apparently he led for a lot longer in on our timeline than he did in this one in real life. So much for drama. Looks like the son here of Radgasius has united the crowns here, and he kicked his bastard brother out from the throne. Better luck next time, I guess. And somehow, some way, Honorius actually overcame his smallpox, and he's back in good health. His humors are even balanced. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm sure it helps that he's athletic, Herculean, strong, you know, all those things give him a pretty sizable health boost. We have another war here, the Huns versus the Western Romans, and it actually looks like Arcadius is winning this one. Double the troops almost. Old man Cursik here is probably not going to be sticking around for too much longer, but he's still in good health, so we'll see how things go with that. Though it looks like he's probably going to lose this war. Oh yeah, Honorius had his round, and now it looks like Kershik here gets the smallpox and the gout, so he's old. He's probably gonna die. And the old man did it. He overcame smallpox as well, proving me wrong yet again. These guys are hardy. I respect that. I respect that a lot. And it looks like Paran, the son of Bahram, has actually died of his wounds at the age of 33, and he is succeeded by whatever this name is. I'm not even gonna try it. Meanwhile, Cursik has kicked the bucket, but not before giving off the lands to his young son, Attila the Hun of the Hunnic Empire, as well as his other son, Cursik II. But this is the one that we're really going to be looking at. I'm sure you guys know who he is. If you don't, Google him. I am curious who is going to outlive who. Looks like Honorius is actually doing better than Arcadius, but we'll see. It keeps going back and forth. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to let you guys know that you can get early access to all of these videos if you become one of the homies. The homies are the new channel members, and I recommend that you join them if you want early access. You can check out the join button below the video. You got a cool little badge that'll show up next to your name, as well as you can use some emotes from the Discord in the comment section. In the higher tiers, we actually even have a monthly multiplayer game that we play together in the Discord. So if that sounds good to you, check it out. Ooh, Arcadius, he's disfigured now. Poor guy. Though he is an excommunicated deviant, he's also a pilgrim, so he gets a little bit of extra piety gain, right? And Attila here is actually involved in a war with the entirety of the Roman Empire. The most serene Republic of Macedon is under siege. They are outnumbered 3-1, so I have very little faith in the Hun, but you know, only time will tell how things go for them. Though he is a legend in real life, he is no 100 stat man like his father, so it's hard to say if he can keep up with these absolute giga chads that exist down here in the south. A bit of land reclaimed for the Western Roman Empire. And Kursik II drank himself to death, passing his throne down to Tingiz, his son, who is currently with a war with his uncle of Attila. He is winning currently, but we'll see how things go. If Attila is able to win, he will reunite the old empire. And my friends, I regret to inform you that God among men Arcadius Theodosian, aka Nerva Antone, or however that's pronounced, has passed at the age of 80, passing the crown on to his oldest surviving son, Aetius, I think it's pronounced. I'm not good at Latin, so he is a rakish lad. He is intelligent and beautiful, but he does have a little bit of the lover's pox. I wonder who he got it from, or maybe he gave it to her. Hard to say. But this right here is just messed up, man. She is 3 years old. But just take a look at Honorius here, man. This is a grizzled old man who has seen some stuff. He is a drunkard, which would explain the flush look on his face. But look at those cheeks, those wrinkles around the eyes. This man has seen some stuff. Very cool. We have Chalcedonian or however it's pronounced Christianity. It has split from the Nicene Christianity. Basically all of the Hellenists and Druids of the former Roman Empire are converted. There's a couple of Tangris over here, but aside from that, it's very much a Christian world we're in. We even have the Apostolics and the Coptics over here, and the Nestorians. Oh, and this is also really funny. I didn't realize that Honorius is actually governing the entirety of the Western Roman Empire out of like London or like the greater area, the lower England. That's pretty funny. Most of his holdings are here in Essex as well as East Anglia. And Attila the Hun has passed, and his son Kursik II of the Hunnic Empire, not to be confused with the grandfather of Kursik III of Carpathia. This is starting to make my head hurt, to be honest with you. And my friends, it finally happened. Not only did Honorius grow a beard after he died, but he drank himself to death at the age of 85. The Western Roman Empire passes on to his grandson, the very handsome Brigamalgos of the Western Roman Empire. He's an intricate web weaver and a schemer, so we'll see if he can bring glory to this formerly glorious Western Roman Empire. Also, I apologize for covering up the date for the first portion of the video. I try to be aware of that stuff. I'm sure people already commented about it. It looks like we actually have a civil war in the Hunnic Empire. This guy over here, this Yensipi, or however that's pronounced, has attacked to claim the Hunnic Empire. So to claim it war, we'll see how things go for him. This poor lad owns one province in northern Africa, being the king of the Roman Empire. So I really don't know where his power base is coming from. I don't know what happened to literally all of the land up here, whether it got split up between Honorius's children. That is so weird. That is so weird. And there's a struggle for Britannia even. This mod is super deep. It actually like really leans into a lot of the newer mechanics, like those struggle mechanics that Paradox added, but it adds so much on top of it. I mean, this literally could be a DLC for the game, and I would pay full price for it. Crazy to think that like fans of the game made this. Not that crazy. Modders are awesome. Out with the old, in with the new. We have the other Honorius here, this time the Imperator of the Eastern Roman Empire. 40-year-old, he is a good diplomat here, and he is an adequate bargainer, but he does have the lover's pox just like everyone else in his entire family. Even his 22-year-old daughter has the dang lover's pox. Somehow his wife does not, but she is also sterile. So how did she have kids? She's also disloyal. I have some ideas. Radagaisus III has actually attacked over here. So it is them and the Huns versus the Western Romans. Safe to say the Western Romans are not going to be doing very good here. 7,000 men, I don't see it happening. All those men being mobilized for like 5 provinces feels CK3, man. And I have no idea what happened to Honorius over here, but he is actually near death with cancer. My man got cancer in his 40s. I feel for that. That actually hurts. He's also wounded, but like cancer? As if the lover's pox wasn't enough, you know? And dying without a rightful heir, the crown passes to his brother, Aetius, who also, of course, has the lover's pox. You can make all these jokes about like the Greeks of antiquity being like promiscuous and all that, but like, did they all have herpes? Is that a thing? I feel like that would actually like make it harder to be promiscuous, knowing that you would like likely get herpes, right? I don't know, man. Teach their own, I guess. And the poor guy's even got a war of tyranny going on. Looks like he probably tried to imprison the wrong person or something like that. Basically, all of his subjects have risen up, and he is outnumbered. He has about 13,000 troops. we'll see how things go. And Kursik II has died, and his son Dristar is fighting another civil war, but it looks like he's got this one well under his control. And meanwhile, Aetius he's losing, and he's probably gonna lose. I think that if he does, it's actually going to dismantle the majority of his land. So this may be the beginning of the end for the Eastern Roman Empire. So it looks like Aetius has managed to put down his civil strife, but now he's at war with somebody much bigger. You have 15,000 troops for him versus 35,000 troops for the Sassanids for the entire Diocese of Orientis, which is that's gonna cut him in half, my friends. Can't catch a break over here. Wins a civil war, immediately gets attacked by an absolute behemoth outside, though we knew this was probably going to happen from the very beginning. Cyprus is actually Persian, though they were not the main crew that I was interested in following. It looks like the Sassanids have hijacked the story and have become the major guy over here, but the Huns are still doing well. They've just had a lot of civil stuff going on ever since the death of the original leader. Aetius over here making money, but dang, is he in debt, looking like the American federal government here. And wow, Aetius just died as well, drank himself to death, probably a little stressed out after all that losing he did. Petronius is already a prisoner of the Shansha, so yeah, not doing too good on his own either. And if it couldn't get any worse here, the Huns with their friends over here in Italia have attacked for the Kingdom of Thrace, and we have 13,000 men, the Eastern Roman Empire, and 30,000 for the attackers. So yeah, Eastern Roman Empire is, at this point, they're just gone. And speaking of gone, Western Rome, where did you go? Is Acacius, or however this is pronounced here, a scaly, drunkard, gout-ridden man who has admittedly pretty good stats, but all of his lands are here in Illyria. I don't understand what happened, whether he had a faction or what, but they're gone. He lost everything. The major players in the area now are Italia in this Septum Provincia, or however that's pronounced. And the Eastern Roman Empire continues to crumble with the Huns and the Sassanids just absolutely champing at the bit. How do you guys say that? Is it chomping at the bit or champing at the bit? I always said chomping, but I've been corrected before. Either way, they're going at them, and the Eastern Romans probably not going to be around for much longer in any meaningful capacity. And at this point, I think we can officially call the Western Roman Empire dissolved. An empire in all but name, one province minor here in Northern Africa. Well, two provinces, but his subject is rebelling for an independence war. So yeah, these guys here in Bohemia did like a migration, I think, the Suebics, and they pushed down into Illyria, pushing the Western Romans completely out. And the Eastern Romans are getting beat up on by the Sassanids. So I think it's safe to say that the sons of Theodosius the Great and not only failed, but failed spectacularly, opening the door, making way for a massive migration of pagans from the east and Zoroastrians over here in Persia, pushing into Anatolia down into Egypt. Chalcedonian continues to be the de facto religion of most of the former Roman Empire, but the Tengris and the Zoroastrians are pushing at an alarming rate. Dristar of the Hunnic Empire, probably the biggest Chad of the entire game up to this point. Not only did he inherit a nation that was in ruins from his previous two generations, but he consolidated all of it and brought them onto the stage as the massive major superpower that the Hunnic Empire was meant to be. And Destan over here just inherited a very powerful, very militarily equipped Sassanid Empire, with his father Khosrow Parviz, the surgeon of the Sassanid Empire, being what I would consider probably the best leader of the entire run, right in here next to Dristar. Fallen Eagle, great mod. I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's going to be linked in the description. Like I said, if you want early access to this video, as well as exclusive roles in the Discord, check out the join button below the video and become one of the homies. And if you have a mod or something in mind that you'd like to see, or a scenario for CK3, EU4, Vicky 3, leave it in the comments below. And a huge shout out to the patrons who keep the channel going. Get early access to videos and exclusive Discord benefits using the link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, stay chill.